righty, this is a new segment here that we're going to be doing on our YouTube channel. We're going to be calling it Bringing Back the Future. And what does Bringing Back the Future mean? Well, we're on the phone right now as my longtime close personal friend, Patrick Shea. Patrick and his father, Bill, are Back to the Future enthusiasts, and they restore or purchase stuff that has been restored from the future. And give us a little 411 on your latest project, Patrick.
Hey, I'm glad to. Our latest project in the fleet is the actual screen-used Back to the Future 2 and 3 1985 Toyota pickup as driven by Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly.
Unbelievable. Now, this is not the one that was used in the first movie, correct?
That's correct. The whereabouts of the first truck that was used in Part 1 are unknown, and it is thought to have been destroyed. This truck was used exclusively in Parts 2 and Part 3.
Unbelievable. For those of you out there who don't know what we're talking about, the first time we saw it in Part 3 is when Biff was waxing the car, and Michael J. Fox came back dressed as Clint Eastwood.
That is correct. That's the one.
Now, you guys are enthusiasts. You actually you're the only people on the planet that has a privately owned collectible, which is the Back to the Future Part 3 car.
Yeah, we're really lucky and fortunate to have been able to acquire that for our collection. It kind of started us off on the whole kind of crazy screen-used thing. The Part 3 car was used in many of the really important scenes in Back to the Future 3. It's the one that was used at the drive-in theater scene, and you're all familiar with that. It was also used in many of the Indian chase scenes, and as well as other places in the movie.
Unbelievable. Now that I've been to the Back to the Future barn, as you people call it, many times, and it's like touching a piece of motion picture history.
I agree. I get the chills every time I see it. As a matter of fact, TC, just today, we decided to do a little rearranging of the barn, and that included actually moving the Part 3 car. So I had the pleasure of actually driving it around today, around our driveway, of course. So unfortunately not on the road, but around our driveway, and it's a thrill to be able to actually sit in that and drive in that, and just to have it and see it and enjoy it is really, really, it's a dream come true.
Did you go 88 miles an hour?
I think I did 15, actually.
Okay, 15. That's right, because your father would have killed you if anything happened to that.
He most certainly would have. I think he was running next to me in the driveway.
Not only your father would kill you, the entire Back to the Future family out there would have killed you.
I would have to go into hiding, I think, yes.
You and Whitey Bulger in the Witness Protection Program, huh?
You got that right.
But like I said, you own that. That's a piece of motion picture history. So now you're adding to the collection by bringing in Michael J. Fox's truck from Back to the Future 2 and 3. Now, how exactly did you get your hands on this?
Yeah, that's a really interesting story. So the truck was originally owned by a gentleman in California whose name was Keith O'Brien. Keith owned a company named K&K Studio Rentals, and obviously they rented vehicles to studios, and they were contacted by Universal in 1989 and leased the truck to Universal, and from there he actually owned the truck for quite some time after that, up until the late 90s, 1999. The truck changed ownership, and another gentleman named Charles, and I don't want to say his last name because I can't pronounce it, so I'll leave it at that.
It's not Charles Manson, is it?
It may as well have been, because this is the guy that I've affectionately been referring to as Bronco Boy, because he's the one that actually painted the truck orange and did some heinous things to the truck, as you probably folks have seen in some of the pictures, possibly on the TMR Time Machine Restoration Facebook page.
Which is an unbelievable site.
A fantastic site, and they got a fantastic group of guys led by Joe Walser and Terry Metalis out there. And that actually, funny little segue, when Joe and Terry and the rest of the TMR team were doing the wonderful bang-up job on the Part 1A car, I should say actually the Trilogy A car, they were contacted by a young man named Stephen Ott, who had bought the truck. So he was the third owner. He said, I have the truck that Michael J. Fox drove as Marty McFly in Back to the Future 2 and 3. Are you guys interested in buying it? So naturally that piqued their interest. They purchased it, and towards the end of the restoration process of the A car, both of them were about to become fathers. They were both fairly well burned out from the A car project, and said, you know what, let's call the Sheas. They're crazy. Maybe they'll want to buy the truck and restore it. So that's what brought them to us, and that's what brought the truck to us.
Unbelievable. Now, I got a sneak peek of this before you revealed it to the entire world. Myself,
Yes,
Stephen Clark, the godfather of BTTF.com, and Colonel Bull Montana made your way up to the Back to the Future barn earlier this year, and you unveiled it, and there it was, all in its orange glory.
And it's glowing orange glory, yeah. Not so glorious at that point, but I'm telling you, when this truck is done, it's going to be not only the best Toyota pickup in the world, it's going to be the Toyota pickup that sparked a generation of new people to love and covet this truck.
When you first revealed it, I thought you owned the General Lee for a second.
It was not a pretty sight, was it?
It was not a pretty sight. And I in fact, like the story about how this truck may have been used running drugs in Mexico.
Yeah, there's actually a funny story, and the truck was actually stolen. And you know what? I can reveal this for the very first time ever through my history, I should say through my historical research. Naturally, the truck came with a stack of paperwork as long as my arm, and looking through all this interesting history and the paperwork that came with it, the truck was stolen not only once but twice. It was stolen just before Universal had leased it in June of '89, and then once again it was stolen in September of '91. And that's the story that everybody knows, is when the truck was recovered by the Mexican federales, and the story goes that it was used to run drugs back and forth over the Mexican border.
That's that's a history package right there.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, really amazing, and I mean to know what this truck has been through. Think of that truck had a more exciting life than I did.
Now, during all of this, doesn't Michael J. Fox, one of the sun visors, is autographed by him, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the coolest thing, and it really, really, really brings it into perspective. The passenger side sun visor of the truck is signed Keith. Naturally, that would have been Keith O'Brien, the original owner. Many thanks. See you on something else, I'm sure. Michael J. Fox.
Now, was that still there when it was running drugs?
Absolutely, yes.
That's unbelievable that they never sold that.
I know, right? Think about it. I mean, now this is back in 1991. Yeah, he was a big enough star. I think he could have got some good cake for that couple of pesos.
Yeah, this is before eBay and whatnot, but still, it's unbelievable.
Sure is.
Now, do you have a lot of reference photos to give to you guys who are restoring this?
Yeah, this truck, it's not a Chevy, Dodge, Ford, big three pickup. You can't pick up the phone and order parts from LMC Truck or Summit Racing or anything like that. This truck is hard to find parts for. We've relied literally on junkyards, scrappers, things like that. eBay, I found a few parts on, but boy, it's hard to find parts for this truck, and we needed a lot. I mean, this truck needed a restoration badly, and I've been fortunate enough to get a lot of help from guys who are interested in the truck, not only for what it is as a Toyota, but for what it is in movie history. There's been two wonderful guys. One is James Ackerman, and the other one is named Jordan Smallwood. Two specific guys that I want to pick out because they've actually sent me parts that I can use on the truck, and they've been a huge help. Now, I've also been able to take some screen grabs, just like the Time Machine guys have done, screen grabs and stills and things from the movies. I've done the same thing with the truck, so I've been able to use those as reference points for the restoration process.
Now, what is original left on the truck?
The body is all original. Naturally not the same color, but the body is all original. The bumpers, front and back, those are Smitty-built two bumpers. Those are the originals to the truck. The roll bar as well is original to the truck. The four KC daylighter, the round 6-inch round lamps that were on the roll bar, those are original to the truck. A lot of the interior, like small parts, trim and things like that, are original to the truck. The seats were swapped out by my Bronco friend, and the steering wheel was changed out. So I've had to source those, and the console was actually missing. But otherwise, the truck is pretty darn original.
That's unbelievable. When you think about it, it's almost a quarter century later.
And it's got 239,500 miles on it.
Well, you won't be going on long trips in this pickup truck, obviously.
No, this truck will be, it will be driven, but it will be driven sparingly and on very sunny days.
Now, are you going to make use of your Marty McFly mannequin and use it in the pickup truck as well?
You better believe it. We've got a stand-up mannequin that we're having done right now, which is going to be fantastic. And actually, for those of you that are coming to the Comic Cons in either New Hampshire or in Rhode Island, coming up in October and November, you'll be the first to see that stand-up mannequin.
Now, you're going to make an Elizabeth Shue mannequin?
Hadn't thought of it, but maybe we'll do that.
You have to.
Yeah, we should, right? Yes.
I mean, she was the one in the truck, other than Marty.
Do you think Claudia Wells would be jealous?
I don't think so. Claudia Wells won't be jealous.
Okay, good. All right, we won't want to do that because she's a wonderful girl.
Because you're going to see her at all these Comic-Cons, and she'll obviously take pictures with the truck.
She definitely will, and she's more than welcome to.
And I understand that in the big one, in 2015, in October of 2015, you guys are going to be bringing the truck out to the big celebration out in California.
We're going back, the 30th celebration, or 30th anniversary celebration for the anniversary of Back to the Future Part 1, naturally. And yes, we are headed out there, and the truck will be done for that. I can guarantee you that. And it's going to be a huge splash. We've got a lot of really neat ideas and a lot of plans for that celebration.
You get to sit in the back with Claudia Wells. You can go on the camping trip they were supposedly going to go on.
That's one of the ideas. You're a mind reader.
I am a mind reader. Now, you've had a lot of support with people that are in the movies, like Bob Gale specifically.
Yes.
What is his take on you guys finding all these things and bringing his ideas back to life?
I think everybody that ever makes contact with Bob Gale knows what a wonderful individual he is. He has received us with open arms. He has been nothing but supportive, and you know what? I believe he's grateful. He has told us on many occasions how thankful he is that there's somebody out there willing to perpetuate the brand and keep these things and bring them out for people to see
and preserve history.
Absolutely, yes.
Unbelievable. Now, other than the Back to the Future Part 3 car and now the pickup truck, what other props do you own from the movie?
Yeah, geez, we have a few other pretty neat items. We have one of Marty's jackets that he wore in 1955 in Part 1. That would be the jacket with the brown leather and the red suede sleeves. That's an item that we're happy to own. That was something we got from the Profiles and History auction back in 2011 at the same time as the Part 3 car. That auction also, we acquired a screen-used shirt that Doc Brown, Christopher Lloyd wore in the clock tower sequences. You'll probably recognize it white with some kind of crazy checks on it and black cuffs and black collar. We have a jacket worn by Griff, of course, Tom Wilson.
I did see that when I was out there. Yeah,
yes,
you did show us that.
Yeah, it's one of the futuristic Part 2 jackets, one with one arm shorter than the other one, green with some crazy weather stripping that makes it may have a really crazy effect to it. What else do we have? I guess I lost track.
Now, what's the one item other than the car that you want to get obtained from Back to the Future? Authentic piece of Back to the Future memorabilia that you, Patrick Shea, would like to get.
Wow, that's actually pretty easy, TC. That would be the brainwave analyzer.
Really?
Yes, sir. If I could find that, I think that we'd go all in on that.
I would go all in if you could find Leah Thompson's fake boobs from Back to the Future 2.
That's number 2 on the list.
Oh, well, she did give them to Arsenio Hall.
Is that right?
She
didn't know that.
When she was a guest on Arsenio Hall promoting, I forget what, it could have been Back to the Future 2 or 3, she did give Arsenio Hall her set of fake boobs.
Well, that must have been the number 1 rated Arsenio Hall show of all time.
Well, it wasn't my household, that's for sure. That's fantastic. Now we're gonna give progresses on this, a couple months down the line, and I may even actually go out and visit the Back to the Future barn, which is my favorite place to visit on planet Earth.
TC Restani is welcome anytime.
Now, you actually, when we were there, you didn't have it there, but you already have a replica of the Libyan van.
Yeah, we do. Yes, actually, that was a really fun project that my dad and I took in over the winter, and it's a 1974, which we believe is exactly the year that was used in the mall scene in Part 1. And we actually found this van out in Arkansas, had it shipped home. I actually did some body work and painted it. I put the very, very necessary sunroof in it, and I put a new engine in it because the other one was kind of tired, and we have been rocking it since then. then. It's been a lot of fun, and what a big hit. You want to talk about people getting excited. I'll tell you, you have a time machine and a Libyan van, people will lose their mind.
Now, I have a question for you. Now, you bring this to all these, like, cruising nights and whatnot. Sure. Now, do you bring the terrorist mannequins with you?
Well, of course. Wouldn't you if you had them?
I would. Now, do you get, like, stopped anywhere? I mean, do they have, like, the bazooka or the RPGs and everything like that?
Of course they do. I can tell you a funny story. For one of the shows that we were going to, it was a pretty long distance, and not only did we have to bring the time machine, we had to bring the van as well. And we had it was kind of complicated. We had to have an extra driver. So we actually had my son-in-law, Chris, drive the van down. But guess what? He hadn't driven a Standard in like 20 years. So we went for a test run in the bus. So we had the mannequins laying down in the back with the guns strapped to their hips, and we had pulled over on the side of the road in our town of Hubbardston. And I was giving him some tips about, when to shift, how to do this, how to do that. Well, didn't Hubbardston's Finest pull up behind us? So,
but they must know, that's just the crazy Shays. They own everything from Back to the Future.
Well, at first they didn't realize who it was, and we gave them the scare of a lifetime because they walked up on us, one on each side, and they saw the mannequins and the guns in the back, and they literally reached for their hips.
And how long after the Boston Marathon bombing was this?
This would have been in June, so a few months.
Right, yeah. Unbelievable there. That is fantastic. I mean, what a great project. Now, just you and your father do this, correct?
Yeah, my father and I do it, but we like to get everybody else involved in the family. My fiancée, Nikki, has been to many of the shows, and some of you folks have met her, and she's a wonderful, wonderful asset, and I thoroughly enjoy having her with me. She will be with us at the October and November Comic-Con. One of the shows this past year, actually two of them, my son-in-law and my daughter have come to and helped out at. My mom is always coming to a lot of the shows, and she's been really enjoying it. So it's been a real family affair.
Now, you're going to enlarge the barn?
Enlarge the barn? No, we built another barn.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. You'll have to come by and see it. We've actually got a second barn in the process right now. They broke ground in May, I believe, and that's being built now. So we will literally have the BTTF barn will be dedicated strictly to BTTF at this point, and then the other barn, the new barn, I guess you'd call it, will have our other movie and other collector cars in it.
Now, confirm or deny, I heard the rumor that you are an Irishman. Your last name is Shea. Yeah. I heard the family wants to change it to McFly.
Well, we've tried, but someone in Hubbardston already had the name McFly, and we didn't want to simply do a copycat, so we decided to leave it at Shea.
Unbelievable. I can't wait to go back to the Back to the Future barn, and this has been an unbelievable thing. I'm sure fans all over the world are going to be looking forward to this, not only in 2015, but all these great shows that you bring all of your toys to.
Thank you. We enjoy nothing more than bringing these out and seeing the people enjoying them, and it's just it's the reason we do it. It really is. We do it for the people, and we do it so people can see these things. We enjoy it very, very much, and I've met so many people, in so many awesome people, including you, my friend at TC Restani.
Now remember, when you get the Leah Thompson boobs from Back to the Future 2, I'm the first person you're calling.
You got it, man.
Unbelievable. My longtime close personal friend, past, present, and future, the one and the only Patrick Shea. Thanks for being on the program, Patrick.
Always a pleasure, my friend, TC.
Unbelievable.
Hi, this is Claudia Wells. I played Jennifer Parker in Back to the Future. How about a ride, mister? And you're watching After Hours with TC Restani.